And today we are very fortunate that we have our lovely Radha Vinodini Mataji, who will be enlightening us on Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna. Please, my obeisances, or Srimad Prabhupada. So, Mataji, do you want to share the screen, as Srimati Mataji said, or do you want me to pull up
Yeah,
the
yeah,
verse?
I like to share. Yes.
Okay, go ahead. It's all yours.
Especially I have one photo which you surely don't have that I can share.
Okay.
Only
I've made you
so
co-host, so you should be able to share,
okay.
but let me know if it doesn't work.
I think there will be no problem, but no, this is not it. Uh, so do you see everything properly?
We just see the Bhagavatam verse 2932.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. And
Maybe you can
later
make it
on, if
full,
it's
if
needed,
you
then
can
I
make
can
it
switch.
full screen, just maximize the page, full screen
Oh,
page.
because it's more because I have my notes and then I won't see my notes.
Ah, okay. It should be fine then.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I'm not so good that I memorize everything, so somehow it's like this. But thank you so much. So can I start? Or
Yes, of course. Please do.
okay. So Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Um, Please accept my humble obeisances. Our glories to Srila Prabhupada. And so we will continue with Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, chapter 9, and verse number 32 will come today. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yavanaham yata bhavo yadrupa guna karmakaha tataiva tattva vijnanam astu tema anugrahat. Srila Prabhupada's translation. All of me, namely my actual eternal form and my transcendental existence, color, qualities, and activities, let all be awakened within you by factual realization out of my causeless mercy. Srila Prabhupada's purport. The secret of success in understanding the intricacies of knowledge of the Absolute Truth, the personality of Godhead, is the causeless mercy of the Lord. Even in the material world, the father of many sons discloses the secret of his position to the pet sons. The father discloses the confidence unto the son whom he thinks worthy. An important man in the social order can be known by his mercy only. Similarly, one must be very dear to the Lord in order to know the Lord. The Lord is unlimited. No one can know him completely, but one's advancement in the transcendental loving service of the Lord can make one eligible to know the Lord. Here we can see that the Lord is sufficiently pleased with Brahmaji, and therefore he offers his causeless mercy to him, so that Brahmaji may have the factual realization of the Lord by his mercy only. In the Vedas, also it is said that a person cannot know the absolute truth, personality of Godhead, simply by dint of mundane education or intellectual gymnastics. One can know the supreme truth if one has unflinching faith in the bona fide spiritual master as well as in the Lord. Such a faithful person, even though illiterate in the mundane sense, can know the Lord automatically by the mercy of the Lord. In the Bhagavad Gita also it is said that the Lord reserves the right of not being exposed to everyone, and he keeps himself concealed from the faithless by his Yoga Maya potency. To the faithful, the Lord reveals himself in his form, quality, and pastimes. The Lord is not formless, as wrongly conceived by the impersonalist, but his form is not like one that we have experienced. The Lord discloses his form, even to the extent of measurement, to his pure devotees, and that is the meaning of Yavan, as explained by Srila Jiva Goswami, the greatest scholar of Srimad Bhagavatam. The Lord discloses the transcendental nature of his existence. The mundane wranglers make mundane conceptions of the form of the Lord, It is said in the revealed scriptures that the Lord has no mundane form. Therefore, persons with poor fund of knowledge conclude that he must be formless. They cannot distinguish between the mundane form and the spiritual form. According to them, without a mundane form, one must be formless. This conclusion is also mundane because formlessness is the opposite conception of form. Negation of the mundane conception does not establish a transcendental fact. In the Brahma Samhita, it is said that the Lord has a transcendental form and that he can utilize any one of his senses for any purpose. For example, he can eat with his eyes and he can see with his leg. In the mundane conception of form, one cannot eat with one's eyes or see with his leg. That is the difference between the mundane body and the spiritual body of Satchidananda. A spiritual body is not formless. It is a different type of body of which we cannot conceive with our present mundane senses. Formless, therefore, means devoid of mundane form or possessing a spiritual body of which the non-devotee can have no conception by the speculative method. The Lord discloses to the devotee his unlimited varieties of transcendental bodies, all identical with one another, with different kinds of bodily features. Some of the transcendental bodies of the Lord are blackish, and some of them are whitish. Some of them are reddish, and some are yellowish. Some of them are four-headed, and some of them two-handed. Four-handed. Okay, so some of them are four-handed and some of them are two-handed. Some of them are like the fish and some are like the lion. All these different transcendental bodies of the Lord without any differential category are disclosed to the devotees of the Lord by the mercy of the Lord, and thus the impersonalists' false arguments claiming the formlessness of the supreme truth do not appeal to a devotee of the Lord, even though such a devotee may not be very advanced in devotional service. The Lord has unlimited numbers of transcendental qualities, and one of them is his affection for his unalloyed devotee. In the history of the mundane world, we can appreciate his transcendental qualities. The Lord incarnates himself for the protection of his devotees and for the annihilation of the faithless. His activities are in relationship with his devotees. Srimad Bhagavatam is full of such activities of the Lord in relationship with his devotees, and the non-devotees have no knowledge of such pastimes. The Lord lifted the Govardhan hill when he was only 7 years old and protected his pure devotees at Vrindavan from the wrath of Indra, who was overflooding the place with rain. Now, this lifting of the Govardhan hill by a 7-year-old boy may be unbelievable for the faithless, but for the devotees it is absolutely believable. The devotee believes in the almighty potency of the Lord, while the faithless say that the Lord is almighty, but do not believe it. Such men, with poor fund of knowledge, do not know that the Lord is the Lord eternally, and that one cannot become the Lord by meditation for millions of years or by mental speculation for billions of years. The impersonal interpretation of the mundane wranglers is completely refuted in this verse because it is clearly stated here that the Supreme Lord has his qualities, form, pastimes, and everything that a person has. All these descriptions of the transcendental nature of the personality of Godhead are factual realizations by the devotee of the Lord, and by the causeless mercy of the Lord, they are revealed to his pure devotee and to no one else. Om Gyanati Mirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamimiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschyatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadatara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Chandramani Swaminiti Namine. So um, I think this is a very, very, very beautiful and very, very, very relevant verse for all of us, because um, who who of us doesn't have the desire to at last meet the Lord and have some vision, some experience of His personality. And of course, we hear many times that everything emanates from Krishna. So actually, all the world around us, inside us, whatever, is in one sense is Him. So nothing is independent, and one who is a devotee, in this sense, can see the Lord everywhere. So if we think that there is any place in the world, any, even the smallest, tiniest object, which is not Krishna, then that is Maya, that is illusion. But of course, we also know that there are different realizations of Krishna. There is the Brahma realization, there is the Paramatma realization, there is the Bhagavan realization, and there is a hierarchy between these. And the highest of these is the realization of Bhagavan. And this verse also speak about this because Brahman has transcendental existence, but doesn't have color, qualities, activities, especially not. So this verse is about Bhagavan. And Srila Prabhupada in his purport mentions so many different topics that I suppose we could sit here all day, and even more. It's just probably my knowledge is not not enough for more, but we could speak so many different things about this verse and this purport. But there were a few things which caught my eye, and I would like to focus on those. Probably even that's too much for 1 hour. So um, the focus of the verse is experiencing Krishna, and it was very interesting that here it's mentioned that yeah, it will be awakened within you by factual realization. So this really caught my eye, that factual realization, and this part, that causeless mercy. So uh, what these things mean, and I thought I would like to speak about this. So if we speak about factual realization, first we need to understand what realization is. I like to speak about this because I suppose that many times devotees understand this word differently. We use this phrase a lot, and sometimes we don't understand it the same way. Because I remember that even as a beginner devotee, I thought that realization means understanding, and and I also met other devotees who had this same conception of this word, and the first time when this belief in me was challenged, when I listened to Guru Maharaj's class, this seminar about reading some years ago, and he spoke about how we absorb knowledge. And first it started with hearing, then contemplating on it, then understanding, and then comes no, understanding, then applying, and then comes realization, and then higher principles, change of standards when it becomes natural. So I was really surprised that first of all that understanding and realization are different, and also by the fact that application comes first and then comes realization. So it was really surprising for me, and somehow this word remained a mystery for years, that what especially this what this could mean. And in one class, once I've heard this synonym for realization, that it is experience. And then somehow everything clicked and fit together. That understanding is the theoretical understanding, and we start to apply it not because we are convinced. I mean, in one sense we are convinced, but at this point it is more like faith that it will work out. But we are doing it out of effort. And while applying the principles out of faith and out of steadiness, out of being determined, then at some point it becomes experience, that we experience what the result of the action is and how this really works. And because this experience comes, then the standards will change and it will become natural. So, so it's very interesting that here this factual realization means that we can experience the Lord. It doesn't mean that we imagine Him, doesn't mean that we see some picture or whatever, but we have factual, not even just realization, factual realization, and. mm, We can also say that this process is a little bit like the different stages of devotion. When first comes nishta, which means that we become steady in application, and then comes the result, the taste, ruchi. So it also shows that this is the process. And it's very interesting. I just thought of sharing this favorite verse of mine. Oh, somehow this, okay. Um, from Srimad Bhagavatam when Krishna enters the arena in Mathura. Because the same Krishna enters, but different people see and experience him differently. So it is in Canto 10. So the various groups of people in the arena regarded Krishna in different ways when he entered it with his elder brother. The wrestlers saw Krishna as a lightning bolt, the men of Mathura as the best of males, the women as Cupid in person, the cowherd man as their relative, the impious rulers as a chastiser, his parents as their child, the king of the Bojas as death, the unintelligent as the supreme lord's universal form, the yogis as the absolute truth, and the Vrishnis as their supreme worshipable deity. So this also shows that experience of Krishna is very personal. So it's not just that with the eyes we see the same thing and we will experience the same thing, because experience of Krishna and reciprocation with him is very, very personal. And many times what abstracts this is that we start to develop different kinds of speculations. And Srila Prabhupada also mentioned here what is the impersonalist speculation, because they hear that and conclude that Krishna doesn't have a material form, material body. Their conclusion is that in the ultimately he is formless, and this is there in their philosophy, and it's not based on Shastra actually, but still there is this false conception, and this keeps them away from the Lord. This is like a barrier between them, and this is their own limitations. We see it also in other religions, like imagining that God is a really old person because it is said that he is the oldest, So probably he has long white beard and whatsoever. And because he is the wisest, so he is surely something which we materially imagine as someone who is the wisest. It's very interesting. I thought of sharing something. It's from Christian source. There is a Christian saint, Saint Teresa of Avila, and lately I read again something of her writings. Uh, she was a saint in the 16th century, and one of his writings is Accounts of Conscience. And in chapter 38, this is what she wrote. Suddenly, a recollection came to me with such a great interior light that I seemed to be in another world, and my spirit found itself within itself in a very delightful forest and orchard, so much so that it made me remember what is said in the Song of Songs, Veniat dilectus meus in hortum sum. Come he, my beloved, to his garden and eat its delicate fruits. Here comes the interesting part. I saw there in this Eliseo, or delicious place with where great souls go, a blackish youth with a strange beauty. On top of his head, he had something like a garland, not a crown, of great stones, and many maidens who walked there with him, with bouquets in their hands, all singing praises to God. I did nothing but open my eyes so as not to be distracted, and it was not possible for me to take my attention off it. There was a music of angels and singing of birds, which the soul enjoyed, although I did not hear it with my physical ears, but the soul was in that delight. I looked as there was no other man there. This lasted for more than an hour and a half, that I could not take my eyes off or my attention, and with great delight, something different from other visions. And what I got from there was more love for God and keeping Him more deeply present with that beauty. It is not possible that it was imagination. So this is this saint's writing, and very interesting because nowhere in Christian teachings is there anything about a blackish youth surrounded with maidens in an orchard, in a garden, and it seems like Krishna manifested to her, and you know, because it's something totally different whatever she heard about God so far, so she could have rejected it, and and she didn't, because she was sure that it was a revelation from God, and accepted just the way it is. Just like Krishna says here, that factual realization. This happened to her. And so it is a very nice experience, very nice example how we should also approach that, not speculating about God. Of course, we don't speculate like he's formless or he's with a long white beard or whatsoever, but we can also have our own speculation on what God thinks, why he acted like this and that, and how he should act like this and that. So uh, we have our own limitations and speculations, and and that's a problem because these keep us away from God. And we should, it's not like we should destroy them, but uh, these limits should be broadened more and more, that at some point they just disappear. So to see more and more of what the world really is, and what Krishna really is, and who he really is. And maybe this seems a little bit like playing with words, but I will explain what I mean. That this whole broadening our vision. It will be sort of like the consequence of our efforts, but not obviously not the result or not the effect of our efforts. By that I mean that we have to make efforts if we want to experience Krishna, if we want to have factual realization of Krishna. Because Srila Prabhupada, here we read about causeless mercy, that this will result factual realization, and this is totally true. So it's not like I would like to oppose this, but immediately in the first paragraph, Srila Prabhupada writes about this, that the father discloses the confidence unto the son whom he thinks worthy. Before that, there is father of many sons discloses the secret of his position to the pet sons. So, whom he deems worthy of such knowledge. And Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that uh, that he reciprocates according to our surrender. So the more effort we do, the more likely he will reciprocate, the more strongly, more personally he reciprocates. And yeah, here comes the picture which I wanted to share in this regard, and I will share it now. So this may be very, very irrelevant to the topic, but this is a picture I took. This is a photo some 1 or 2 months ago. Some time ago, I used to go for walks, and this scene really inspired me because what you see here, the left side of the road, you can see the leftover water that it is watered, and because on the left side there is a block of buildings where big companies are there, and they properly take care of their area to look nice. But the other side of the road doesn't belong to them. There is no nourishment, no water. It was, scorching heat of the summer, and you can see that it's totally dry and destroyed, and almost nothing is there. And this is the difference when actually, when we speak about water, we usually think of this is nourishment. But there is another side to it, because if you water the plants, it means that the plant will get the water, but you will make effort to carry the water. So you pay the bills for having water, you carry the weight in a bucket or something, or you pay the bills for electricity for a watering system. So there is some kind of effort there to water the plants. And this is important there, that without proper effort, the result is will be what you can see on the right side. And and this is really important, that if we don't do any effort, if we just go with the flow without any extra endeavor, then what happens that we will just go deeper and deeper in the modes of goodness, and in the end up in tamaguna, because that's where there is no effort. Even at the mode of passion, there is effort. So effort is needed to make any progress, any development. And this is really important. So sometimes we also misunderstand what it means to get the causeless mercy. And uh, some time ago, I saw a video on YouTube, and it was I don't know if you have heard about this, that lately there is a new gadget people can buy called smart ring, which measures different life, I mean, like heartbeat, body temperature, whatsoever. So anyway, one person did a trial period using this ring and got suggestions from the program how he should improve his lifestyle. And like 3 to 4 weeks passed, and he expressed that, yeah, whatsoever, not so special. It's true that my life and habits changed to some extent, but after all, I was the one who did it. And I was sitting there and was thinking that, okay, you were the one who did it, but why didn't you do it 1 month ago, or 2 months ago, or 1 year ago? So obviously, this gadget was needed and these suggestions were needed, which is similar when we get support from outside in the form of mercy. But it's also true that if someone puts on the ring, nothing will happen if he doesn't make the endeavor himself. So personal effort is also needed. And uh, and mm, just as this verse also oh, sorry, no, I wanted to say something extra. So in this world now, this one of the biggest lies of modern society is that we are made to believe that we can have results without effort. And that is a problem because this is one way how uh, we also go down to the mode of ignorance. And when there is result and we think that we didn't do any effort for it, it means that we did the effort in our previous lives or we will do the effort in our upcoming lives. So effort is always there, and this is very important. And it's also mentioned here in the verse that Krishna is the one who reveals himself. So it's true that experience of him is not the result of our effort, because it's his decision that reveals himself. And just as he says in Bhagavad Gita that as all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. So by efforts we show Krishna that we truly want to experience him, we truly want to connect to him. And this desire behind the efforts, which show and the efforts show the strength of this desire. But in reality, the desire will Krishna will reciprocate with the desire. And causeless mercy doesn't mean that either it will happen or not. Who knows? So why why do anything? It's not what causeless mercy means, but it means that uh, mercy is not the result of my actions. It's not automatic. It's not like I put some coins into the Krishna machine. Sorry, obviously Krishna is not a machine, but you understand maybe what I mean, that sometimes we consider him like that. That I put the coin inside, and the desired result will come out. It doesn't work like that. It's a reciprocation. So reciprocation is what relationships mean, and it's not automatism and not business. So this works differently. And when it's about efforts and reciprocation, I would like to emphasize three really important things. First thing is that we have to notice this mercy from Krishna. Second is that we have to accept this mercy. And the third, that there are different degrees of acceptance. So we have to fully accept this mercy. This is also very important. So, regarding the first point, to notice mercy, many times it's not obvious what is mercy and what is not. And sometimes we don't immediately understand that something is mercy. So I had some experience, personal life situation that I struggled for a long time. That somehow I couldn't go to sleep in a proper time, couldn't get up early. My rounds, I had my rounds, but they were mostly done in the evening and whatsoever. So somehow my whole daily schedule was totally messed up, and I really felt like I don't have the power in myself to change it. But I was really prayed to Krishna so many times and for such a long time. And after some time, uh, my I got my feet had some pain in it, and nothing really happened at that point. I thought that, oh, what a curse. I cannot go to do all the services which I did so far. So somehow it became difficult, so many things. Then I got some kind of nose and throat disease, which somehow didn't want to go away. And I was in bed for weeks and weeks. And at some point, I just got up from the bed, and even standing was painful. And I realized that, okay, I have to use my feet. So I started to go for a walk. And I realized that, oh, it's so nice. So I started to go regularly. And while walking, I was chanting. Then I realized that, okay, but I have to work throughout the day. So these walks have to be in the morning. And somehow one thing came after the other. And I started to do morning japa walks. And and it was so amazing that originally Krishna sent me sicknesses, different kinds of sicknesses, and in the end it reformed my daily schedule. But it was a half year period of time, and in the beginning, I didn't notice that something would good would come out of this anytime. So one one thing to learn from this is that there is a situation, for example, in this case, sicknesses, but the important thing is how we react to it. Because I remember when this COVID period came, Guru Maharaj so many times emphasized that devotees always find the way how to use each and every situation to serve Krishna even more, even better. So material situations are just something we build from, but the important thing is how we react. Because sickness comes, and in the mode of ignorance, what do? We start to complain to Krishna. We just lie in the bed, become lazy, become morose, and whatsoever. So that's one thing. In the mode of passion, maybe we start to go this doctor, that doctor, or start the walk, but then it becomes better and stop it. And so this is the mode of passion. The mode of goodness is when we start to do these things, but the focus is that, okay, regularly all the time go for the walk, and this is the most important thing. So for example, if there is some festival or whatever, even the walk is the important. So transcendental is when we connect it with somehow in some way with Krishna. So japa or listening to audiobooks or kirtans or whatever, and and we build on the mode of goodness, but we are not dependent on the mode of goodness. So if something other spiritual, more important thing comes up, then we give the priority to that. And so mercy and blessings gives an opportunity, but unfortunately, we have free will in this regard, unfortunately, because we can reject this mercy. We may not even notice it if we are not attentive. And the second, I just mentioned shortly, I have one favorite pastime when Srila Prabhupada visited this temple where Vishnuja Maharaj was at the time. I think at that time he wasn't sannyasi yet. And Srila Prabhupada told him that, oh, I see you made nice progress. And Vishnuja Maharaj said that, oh, Srila Prabhupada, everything is your mercy. And Srila Prabhupada said that, okay, but I give my mercy to everyone equally, but you accept it. And and this is very, very important for us to accept the mercy. After noticing, accept it. Sometimes it may not be in a form which is comfortable. Sometimes it's difficult, but even then, we should accept it with wholeheartedly. And this leads to our third point, that we should always put full attention and full efforts into accepting this mercy. Because, as I mentioned, this Bhagavad Gita verse again and again, the way, I mean, to the extent how we surrender to the Lord, to that extent will He reciprocate. And if we just, so surrender, then the Lord will so reciprocate. Do we want that? Is it enough? And just this past weekend, I had uh, some experience about it, because I made some mistakes in serving Guru Maharaj, and I thought that I will speak about it here, because we can learn from it. And so, it was difficult, the end of a difficult week, and somehow I didn't go to New Rajadam on the day when Guru Maharaj arrived. And even when I arrived, I had some other services. So even then, I didn't uh, eagerly look for service, so to say. And somehow, it was Janmashtami is, I think it's never easy for anyone. It's late at night. There is this fasting, and in the end, it happened that I even came home earlier than he. And after that, in 1 or 2 days, he called me, and we spoke about this whole situation. And he expressed that it caused some difficulties for him that I wasn't there when he arrived. And at first, what is the first reaction usually of a non-sincere disciple like me? Looking for excuses. And yeah, it really was a difficult week, and I thought that, but I couldn't arrange it in any other way. I couldn't manage it. And after a few days, I was thinking, like, was it really like that? Because because maybe if I did that, or if I did that other thing, maybe it could have worked out. And I really understood that yes, when the guru arrives, then he is the priority. It's not like I accept any other services. Last year when he came, he didn't need practically any service during Janmashtami and Prabhupada Vyasa Puja Day. So, in my head, there were some statistics. I calculated, okay, I have some free time here, some free time there. But it's not like that. When the guru comes, he is priority. And this full dedication, which leads to full results. So not like, okay, I give to some extent, but I withdraw some other extent. So this is very important. And when we speak about efforts, it's uh, it's important to see that provided that we make this effort based on knowledge, on real knowledge, and we do this effort consistently, it means that that kind of effort is in the mode of goodness, which means that, as Krishna speaks about it, in the beginning, it may be like poison, but in the end, it will be like nectar. So, so we need to accept the poison. We cannot um, make a workaround because that is part of the picture. And it again leads us to reaching the level of nishta, making the effort consistently, and then consistent taste will come. And it means that there is knowledge, there is self-control, there is uh, regular, consistency. And in a spiritual sense, it means that yes, I show Krishna, I show Guru how strong my faith is, how strong my desire is to reach Krishna. And this is really important. And Srila Prabhupada promised us that he would open the back door of, of Goloka Vrindavan. So we may expect that, but it doesn't mean that, he drags us all the way while we are trying to grab each and every tree on the way. That no, 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 I don't, I want to stay here because this tree has such a nice shades, and and whatsoever. So it's not like that. All the time it's mentioned that we have to follow the footsteps of the acharyas. It means that they won't take us, they show the way, and we have to go. We have to follow these footsteps, and out of our own free will. And this effort will show that we truly want this. And and you know, when we show Krishna that we truly want him, actually, this desire is the cause of causeless mercy, we could say. And I would like to speak a little bit about what um, this experience doesn't depend on, because it was also mentioned that it doesn't depend on anything material, and that no mundane education is needed. Uh, Even in the case of this quote from Saint Teresa, we could see that she learned a few things, different facts about how God reciprocates looks and whatsoever, but but this revelation of hers was something different, and it was revealed. It didn't depend on what she had heard previously about such topics. So we don't have to be scholars. We don't have to have certain material talents. We need faith, and that's it. So practically that's it. And another thing is that even it doesn't depend on personal um meetings, because, for example, in Hungary there is one senior devotee, Paramakaruna Prabhu, who is the disciple of Srila Prabhupada. And of course, at those times, Srila Prabhupada couldn't come to Hungary because this was one of the communist countries. And Paramakaruna Prabhu was initiated in letter and never met with Srila Prabhupada. And sometimes in classes, he narrated about what kind of efforts he did for spreading Krishna consciousness. And it was like, wow. Sometimes it was even dangerous to his life. it was the communist country, so it's obvious how he sneaked Krishna conscious books into the departing Soviet tanks so that they could take them to the Soviet Union. And if he was caught, then it would have been certain death. So he had such strong faith, even if he never met personally any devotees at that time. And obviously, we need to endeavor for personal association, because if we have the possibility for that and we don't do, it means that we lack efforts. But if it's not possible, then devotion also doesn't depend on that if there is true desire. So it comes back to the point that what we give and what we hold back. Yeah, I prepared a lot of other things, but I suppose it's already past the time. So I think we could open up for discussions. Just to shortly summarize what were my points, that in order to experience Krishna, it's very, very important to get rid of our preconceptions and speculations about him, and we need to make efforts, meaning that we have to cry for him, but crying for mercy. But when mercy comes, we have to notice, we have to accept it, and we have to fully accept it, meaning full endeavors. And this is the way how can we establish and develop our relationship with Krishna. And this, in due course of time, melts his heart, obviously because the Guru takes us, and he reveals himself to us. So I think we can stop here.
Thank you so much, Radha Vinodini Mataji. That was an incredible class. So much to take away. I won't summarize because you did a nice summary at the end. But a couple of other things I wanted to mention. Thank you for sharing, helping us understand the difference between understanding and realization, and how realization is to do with experience. And you shared that beautiful narration of the revelation that Mother Teresa had. That was really, really nice. Thank you so much for sharing. And so much you spoke on efforts, and I really liked it towards the end where you said desire is the cause of causeless mercy. So yeah, some really, really incredible points. And I'm sure the devotees have a lot to reflect on. So, Hare Krishna, everyone. Please do turn on your cameras. Even though Marge is not here, he wants us to all interact in a very personal way. So please turn on your cameras. And please raise your virtual hands if you have a comment, a reflection, or a question for Radha Vinodini Mataji. If you're not able to, then please type it in the chat and I can read it out on your behalf. So first we have Rajesh Prabhu. You've got your hand up. Would you like to unmute?
Sorry, I had it by mistake. So
Okay, no problem. Sridevi Mataji, you're next.
Thank you, Ekachakra. And a big thank you to Radha Vinodini. Please accept my humble obeisances, dear sister. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to our Gurudev. And I offer my obeisances to all the assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis also. What a class, so powerful, with personal examples also included, and sharing about your experience of doing everything upside down. Boy, that phase becomes so difficult, when you're set in chanting your rounds in the evening, when you should be chanting in the morning. It's so difficult to break that cycle, and how Krishna helped you by persistently endeavoring and really praying to him. So that was really powerful for me to hear that. And thank you for sharing so much in depth and so honestly. I was also thinking about the photo that you shared. One side of the pathway is all green and the other side is all neglected. And that's how our sadhana is also when we are just, apathetic or lazy or distracted. There's hardly anything going in. So naturally, hardly anything comes out. The more we put into our chanting, the more we can expect. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam sataiva bhajamyaham. So I'm really still mulling over all the things that you mentioned, and the stages of realization, as you said. First comes the hearing, then comes understanding, then comes the application, and then through that the realization. And realization means an actual experience of what you have heard, understood, learned, and then that makes it real. So then it becomes a realized knowledge, from Gyan to Vigyan. So all those things are very, very powerful. So thank you, Radha Vinodini.
Thank you so much for encouragement. I'm sure that you could add so much more, which would be.
No way. This is very nice. This is perfect and complete.
Thank you, Sridevi Mataji. Some wonderful reflections from the class. Shivakumar Prabhu, would you like to unmute and speak?
Thank you, Mata. Hare Krishna, Mataji, and our proms. Please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you, Mataji, for the insightful session. So I have 2 or 3 questions, Mataji. You talked about faith, Mataji. I just had this question. Like we here, there are 3 levels of pramana: pratyaksha, anumana, and shabda. And the shabda more or less translates into the faith. So I just wanted to know, Mataji, like in many of our efforts, it seems there is very limited pratyaksha anubhava that we are getting, and we have to rely more on the shabda to kind of continue the practice and keep up the momentum and enthusiasm. Is there any insight, Mataji, that you can share as to any specific reason why Krishna limits the pratyaksha experience, anubhava, and that we have to wait for it and just keep our faith in the Shabda and continue on the practice, Mataji?
It's a very, very good question. I suppose one answer is that it's not so. In one part of the question is our perspective, and the other part of the question is Krishna's perspective. Krishna's perspective is very, very easy because, if someone left him, obviously there is a lack of trust. So why would he reveal himself? Because, for example, if someone offends you, then of course you will be a bit, back off after some offense from someone. So trust needs to be developed, and in a way that the reciprocation is not so confidential, not so intimate. So that is Krishna's perspective. Our perspective is that sometimes we think that if we have direct experience of Krishna, then it would be easier. But seeing Krishna, for example, we think that so many atheists there are that who says that if Krishna or God appeared in front of me, then I would believe in him. And we think that in that case it would be easier. But there is, for example, Kamsa. Krishna was in front of Kamsa, and still Kamsa was an enemy. So he still didn't accept him and didn't reciprocate in a loving way. So, although we think that this kind of experience would support our faith, but in reality, so many times, even by saying something, we look for excuses or other personal explanations. For example, if you show some kind of miracle to a materialist person, then immediately they are looking for material reasons why it happened. On the other hand, there are different experiences of Krishna. And for example, I was thinking about it just today that there is just the opposite of Kamsa's experience. Like, for him, Krishna was death and that's it. But but it's also possible that someone doesn't see Krishna and still having some kind of experience of him. Because, okay, for example, the highest example is there was, for example, Srimati Radharani, who was in such ecstasy. Krishna wasn't anywhere near her, and in her ecstasy, she saw a tree which was black, and she mistook it for Krishna. And for her, Krishna was there because she was there. He was there in her consciousness. But also there was, for example, Prahlad Maharaj, who was always chanting the Lord's name, and he saw Krishna everywhere. When Hiranyakashipu asked him that, oh, is he in this pillar? He said yes, yes, and I heard some classes that Lord Nisimadev was already showing himself to to Prahlad from the pillar. But our sampradaya is actually about crying for Krishna, not like, oh, I'm having Krishna, but cultivating this vipralamba mood, that this separation. And vipralamba mood is not about not meeting Krishna. It means that there is meeting in the separation. So while not meeting with Krishna, still there is an experience of Krishna. I'm not so much expert in this topic, so I think I won't go deeper into this, but I thought that this is a very nice point to add, that even if we don't experience him with our senses, it doesn't mean that we cannot experience him. And it's not like Krishna doesn't give any experience before we can personally meet with him in Goloka Vrindavan, because sometimes we have certain reciprocations, getting. For example, I remember when I was a beginner devotee, I'm still, but it was my first years. And once I traveled for a festival to New Rajadam, and and I was so enthusiastic. I made a small basket with different uh, f- dried fruits and whatsoever, but decorated it nicely with ribbons and small bees and whatever, and took it to Radheshyam. And I think it was during that festival, at least I understood it, that Krishna reciprocated with that the head pujari came to me with a small bottle of Maha perfume. And, like getting such a Mahaprasadam out of nothing, this is also Krishna's reciprocation. And there was another time that I just read at those times that because Krishna's bodily complexion is bluish, that's why Srimati Radharani's outfit is bluish. And because Srimati Radharani's complexion is golden, that's why Krishna's dhoti is yellow. And at that time, I was traveling to New Rajasthan, and I was thinking that, oh, how nice it would be to see the deities in such outfits. And I was there for 3 days maybe, and I think 3 or 4 of their outfits, evening and daily outfit, was like that. And I mean, they used to change the colors, the pujaris, but somehow so many outfits for these colors, and I thought, wow, Krishna listened to my desires and reciprocated, and it was so personal for me. So there are so many small experiences. I'm sure you also have, and practically, I'm sure that all the devotees have some kind of experiences like this. When we can reciprocate, we can experience Krishna in some way, even when we don't see him face to face like a person, but but he is there. And yesterday I was also going for my japa walk, and I heard some noises behind me for some time, and this came to my mind, this pastime when Sakshi Gopal was walking behind the young Brahmana, and I was thinking that wow, it's actually this happens because I'm chanting my rounds now, and when I'm chanting Krishna's names, he's walking with me, and as long as I'm chanting his names, I can experience Krishna's presence. Maybe because my consciousness is not clear, I'm not able to understand it as Krishna's presence, but this is my contaminated state. So as it gradually purifies, I will experience more and more of something which is already there, because it's not like Krishna is not there now, and when I'm purified, he will be there. It's like he is there already. It's just my senses are covered, and that I need to purify. So I'm not sure if this was answer or helpful for you, but
Yes, ma'am.
please let me know if you would like any further something.
No, this is helpful, Mataji. Thank you so much. I think you made a lot of points, both from Shastra and your personal experience also. This is very helpful, Mataji. I'll listen to the recording again. And Mataji, my second question, you talked about the mercy, and interestingly, you talked about accepting the mercy, and then the degree to which we have to accept the mercy. Only after coming into devotee association, which was like 4 or 5 years back, Mataji, I started to hear that even the reversals, the unfavorable experiences are mercy of Krishna. Until then, in theory also, there is this maybe more of a materialistic thought that favorable experience is what is mercy of the Lord. So that's the first time that I heard even in theory. And maybe after hearing since then, there have been a lot of challenges I'm put through. So I just wanted to hear Mataji on that front. It seems that at some level it may not be true, but just that when we are into that challenging times for our own purification, as we can understand, it sounds like the material wellness is material wellness and spiritual progress seems to be mutually exclusive. That's how it sounds, Mataji. That's what
Sorry, what are the two things?
The
Which
material wellness, material comforts, and
Mhm.
spiritual progress seems to be mutually exclusive, at least in the
Mhm.
during the phase of anartha nivritti. I mean, as many devotees struggle, I feel that to the extent that I am comfortable in material comfort, within that boundary, I will stretch myself for spiritual progress. That's how I think. But it seems that Krishna is trying to pull me out of that zone in order to really make the progress. So that seems to be a continuous struggle. My focus and energy is to stretch, make the path materially comfort zone, and then within that, whatever it allows, I will make the spiritual progress. But I will not step out of that this thing. So I just wanted to hear a few words from you, Mataji, on that, from your experience.
uh, yeah, so sorry. Just a few examples came to my mind of great devotees who who were kings and, and wealthy people. So we can see that material comforts are not opposite of devotional service or spiritual life. we can see that there are so many different devotees. I remember my boss's girlfriend once asked me that, oh, and what type of people go to be Krishna conscious devotees? And at that time, I started to think it's not like some certain type of people, like always doctors become devotees, or always the poor people becomes devotees, or something like that. There are so many different people, poor and wealthy and educated and non-educated, and so practically there is no common thing except for devotion to Krishna, of course. And uh, once I've heard, I think it was Bhakti Vigyan Goswami Maharaj's class, when he narrated, he spoke about, Krishna speaks about it in Bhagavad Gita, what kind of people surrender to him. And so there are those who are suffering. There are those who desire wealth. There are those who are curious, and there are those who are seeking knowledge. And Bhaktivedanta Goswami said that actually these four categories correspond to the four varnas. So Brahmanas are those who surrender out of desire for knowledge. Kshatriyas are those who surrender because of curiosity, this challenging mood and whatsoever. Vaishyas are those who surrender for wealth, and Shudras are those who surrender because they suffer. They are suffering. And, we live in Kali Yuga, and we so many times mention that all of us are Shudras and even lower. And that was the conclusion, that in our age, it's not possible, practically not possible. We are not able to surrender for any other reason than suffering. And in previous ages, this might have been different. We know that in Satya Yuga, everyone was, well, we can say Brahmana, but there was a different name for that. But in our age, we are so fallen and so self-centered that suffering is the reason. And obviously because the lower modes of nature are more prominent, and that's why we experience even more suffering than in previous ages. So this is something which makes us turn to God, turn towards God. And it's not like Krishna sends us suffering because he thinks that, oh, this is the way, I just send it. He's also not a. It's not the same metaphor with the coin into the automata, into the machine. Krishna is not like that. So if you need something else for your progress, not suffering, or suffering in a different area of life, so to say, then he will send different things. And we can see that there are some people some devotees who doesn't have any attachment to money, and they can work with it, and Krishna just sends, because why not? If those devotees can engage this money in the service of Krishna without any attachment, then if it's effectively used in Krishna consciousness, used in preaching, then Krishna sends, because he wants Krishna consciousness to be spread. And if it doesn't cause any problems for the devotee, then there is no need for not sending. The general problem is that most of us are attached to money, but even more what we can get from money. Yeah, and that's why Krishna sets some limits for us, because that will protect us. And sometimes it's not comfortable, but sometimes we also experience that when we are in need for money in certain situations, then somehow mysteriously money comes. Sometimes it doesn't happen, so it's again not there are different situations, and Krishna has different reasonings in different situations, but it's we are more and more degraded and only understand from suffering. And that's the problem. Yes.
Thank you so much. This is very interesting insight. You talked about the four varnas and the comparisons. That's something that I have not heard. Thank you so much. Very interesting.
Thank you. Yeah, for me it was also very interesting because yeah, my intelligence is always happy with these, fun facts, but at the same time it helps understanding that why in Kali Yuga it's even more prominent that we need to suffer. Otherwise, it's somehow we don't turn to God. It's sad actually, but probably it's even more sad for Krishna, unfortunately. Yeah. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
your questions. Very,
Thank
very
you.
good questions. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Shiva Kumar, for really nice questions. And of course, Radha Vinodini Maji for enlightening us with some of these answers. Maji, I need to leave. Can I make you host? And then you can take Balavan Nitai Prabhu has a question. He's got his hands raised.
Mhm.
There are no questions in the chat, so this might be the last one unless somebody else
Okay. Okay.
comes. But
Okay.
I'll make you host. And Balavan Nitai Prabhu, please go ahead. And thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Sorry for going over time. Thank you. Hare Krishna. So, Palavani Thai Prabhu.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Chandramuli Swami Maharaj. Good morning. Wow, what a great class. It's hard to know what thread to pick up on because of the diversity and breadth of the scope of the discussion this morning. I'm feeling elated that I'm a member of this community when I hear excellent talks like this. I guess the first thing it wasn't, I asked in the chat, but it wasn't exactly confirmed. Was it Mother Teresa you mentioned, or was it Saint Teresa of Avila?
Saint Teresa of Avila. Yeah.
And was that
Not the Mother Teresa from the 20th century, but earlier. Yeah.
and you uncovered that in her Crystal Castle or something, her famous book, or where did you find that anecdote?
Hey, I will check it out because I don't remember by heart, but
Anyway, it's super interesting. And she was a great saint, truly one of the
yeah.
handful of Christian saints that
Yeah.
really.
So the title was Accounts of Conscience. Shall I copy it into the chat?
I would love to take a look at it. Yeah.
Okay, I copy all the quote there. So if
In the
you would like,
yeah, I would like to pick it up or read deeper into that part if it's not in the Crystal Castle or whatever the.
okay, I just one moment because it's a bit long for one message, but I will do in two.
But in bringing that up, I just wanted to confirm because I love her, Saint Teresa of Avila. But the notion of the Lord appearing to people and faith. For me, I personally see Krishna in events or things that happen to devotees when just at our little temple in Farmington, so many sort of inexplicable, near miraculous conclusions to dangerous things that happen to the sincerest devotees here. I'd have to include myself. I believed I was personally saved by Krishna from a very serious event. And I personally, yeah, have no problem with I want to say that I have faith, but I feel like I know Krishna's there, or I don't know if that's blasphemous. I'm not sure. And it also, the people that Krishna appears to, it sounds like Krishna appeared to Saint Teresa. Have you ever read the Krishna Karna Amritam?
No, not yet.
It was a book that Lord Chaitanya discovered in a library, and just a piece of it. And it's a beautiful poem by Leela Sukha. And in it, he again and again, it's how many different ways to say Krishna is beautiful, but he constantly is begging to see Krishna. This is verse 23. Oh, when will I feast my eyes with the vision of the lad, coronated as the lord of the handsomest one, amidst the notes of the flute so richly inflated with the nectarian high crescendo? When will that lad render the pair of our eyes cool with his moonlight countenance, gentle with sweet smiles that exude honey? It goes on and on and on like this. It is a
beautiful, really. Mm-hmm.
I would recommend all devotees to take a look at Krishna Karn Amritam.
Mm-hmm.
It's very beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just would like to hear more of your reflections on Krishna appearing to people, or how to, see Krishna, and if that's even desirable exactly. I guess that's my question, or my,
I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be desirable. Is there any possible cause? Because
to me, to see God would be I would be afraid to see a divine being or something like that. I'm sure Krishna would be, yeah, he's infinitely beautiful and all of the things, but some supernatural thing or extra normal thing occurring in front of me. Like when the angels appeared to people in the Bible, what is the first thing that they say? Be not afraid. That's because humans in our radical finitude are tiny and, beholding an actually divine thing. I would think that I just would think that would be my natural response. It would break my brain. So, as in my tininess.
I think it's probably because while we are endeavoring for full true knowledge, we are so fearful. I mean, in this, as we hear that this is the symptom of ignorance, our ignorance. It's not about you, sorry, but till we, even to a small extent, while we are identifying with the body, then we are fearful. I remember once I saw a comics when the devil came to a Krishna conscious farm, and there is the farm boy with this I don't know the word, this which they used to.
Break.
Sorry, I just look it up because I think it's easier.
Object Balaram usually is pictured carrying.
Pitchfork.
Oh.
And the farm boy has this pitchfork, and also the devil has this pitchfork. And when we see the picture of the devil, obviously we immediately think of, oh, he came from hell, he's so dangerous, he will cause suffering and whatever. But there is the innocent farm boy, and oh, which farm did you came from? And it was so funny because actually it so nicely describes the innocence of a devotee, that when there are no such conceptions, that something should cause fear, because why should a devotee fear? We don't have to fear for the safety of the body, and we don't have to fear that anything. If we are surrendered to Krishna, then nothing can harm our devotional service. So why we would have to fear? And there is that pure devotee there. I mean, in his innocence, and didn't even comprehend that, oh, it's a devil, and I think it's something similar, that while we have certain conceptions that we have to fear something, or that's something so glorious, something something so higher than me, then then mm, I'm just trying to phrase this cautiously, because obviously there is the Vaikuntha planets, and there is also awe and reverence there. So it's not like there is anything wrong with that. But even there, there is no fear. So fear is only because of these materialist conceptions. Or
I don't know if an infinite thing, like the scene in the Bhagavad Gita when Krishna gives his, infinite godly form to Arjun.
mm,
Does he just? I I mean, yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, maybe I'm just entranced by how my material body would react to seeing a truly infinite thing. I just would think that I maybe frightened is the wrong word, fearful is the wrong word.
no,
Awe is maybe.
You're right, because there are some certain situations when devotees also experience some kind of fear. I remember that I read it from Srila Prabhupada that a devotee is fearless. So that's what I was speaking about. But also, just as you mentioned, Arjuna's experience, there is also, for example, Devaki, who is fearful for Krishna, or Mother Yashoda, who is also fearful for Krishna. Uh, Maybe that's something else, when the fear is not directed to the person, him or herself, but to Krishna. But this is a good example that you mentioned, Arjuna. Yeah, I have to admit, I don't know. I just spoke about what Srila Prabhupada said, that a devotee is fearless, and I'm sure that it was there, but yeah, there are different kinds of fears. I think that might be the conclusion. Uh, but this was only part of your question. Uh,
Vision of Krishna, to see it, like in the Krishna Karnamritam, the sweetness of it. It's okay, Maji. I just hear more of your thoughts on, that cycle of.
Yeah, I think I'm not able to say anything Shastra based on this, and I obviously didn't have personal experience about it, but at least I would say that I think there is no problem with this desire that a devotee would like to see Krishna, and because that's the goal, to see Krishna. And yeah, I read some nice descriptions also lately, when Srila Prabhupada wrote about it, how to see and experience Krishna through the pages of the Srimad Bhagavatam. And yeah, so my meditation was so far more like about how to see Krishna through our ears, I would say. Um, at least this is open for most of us. But yeah, seeing him with our own eyes, yeah, I'm not able to add anything to that. Sorry, this is my limitation. but very interesting question. I'm sorry.
Thank you, guys. Mataji. Beautifully. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm sure I will think about it for days. Thank you. So, Prema Bhakti Prabhu,
Hare Krishna Mataji, Tandanas Pranams,
Hare Krishna.
Gurudev Mataji. Very nice class, Mataji. Good subject matter, vast. Just one quick insight. My experience, like you were saying about you chanting, and you felt Krishna was there. One time I was chanting actually I was chanting with a sannyasi actually in the park in Manchester, and I was just chanting, and all of a sudden this bird came, and it was just following us, I was chanting, and it was just following us for a while, for a good like half an hour, It wouldn't leave, but it could sense it was actually Krishna's there, with us, and it was very nice. It was just like an experience, Mataji. And also, causeless mercy, I'm thinking of Narada Muni,
Sorry, I just would like to clarify something. It's not like I felt Krishna's presence. I think I maybe was confusing. It was more like an intellectual thing, my understanding that Krishna is there because Krishna is personally there when his name is chanted. So it's not like I felt anything. I'm not such a high level devotee. It was more
Yeah.
intellectual type of thing.
Yeah, it was just like to the heart, really. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
feel
I mean, these understandings are the source of meditation because these support us not to, when there is the understanding that relationship is going on and Krishna is here, then we are more likely to focus than when we are just, oh yeah, this is sound and whatever. So,
Mhm.
so that's why I like to mention these things because this helps us to be more conscious about wanting to make the effort.
Yeah.
Whenever I remember that, oh, Krishna is here, Krishna is listening, and I'm just thinking of other things, then I'm more likely that, okay, I have to pay attention because he pays attention. Then when sometimes I'm just, oh, it's in the evening and I still have like 4 rounds and I have to do them, then it's more like a rap song or something. So not so it's always nice to be conscious, even on an intellectual level, to remember that Krishna is there, because then we will more likely pay attention. That was only my point.
Okay, that's it. Yeah. Well, yeah.
But your example was very nice. It's so nice when animals are also engaged in certain processes of devotional service.
Yeah, everything is Krishna Mataji.
Yeah.
Energies,
Yeah.
energies, abundance.
Thank you very much for your comment.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
So,
Hare Krishna. Revati Mataji.
Hi, Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
So close to the Prabhupada. Just want to say thank you so much. A beautiful class. Your class is always full of realizations and your practical experiences. I wanted to just share like about the seeing Krishna. Sometimes, most of the times, like we see Krishna based in our situations, like through Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, and we try to relate, with our past things happen, and we see like how things are happening now, and we see Krishna in every situation. So, is that also seeing Krishna, or is it like more impersonal?
Just I'm not sure if I understand your question properly. That if we see Krishna in situations that happen to us, his arrangements, if that is impersonal realization of him, or
Yeah, like some situations we go through in the past, and also situations like after we come to this con, we experience that how Krishna has those.
sorry, just please continue.
Yeah, so after like coming to like ISKCON, we start hearing classes, and we always compare with the things happened in the past, and we see how things are changing now. So now we can see the Krishna's role, how he's giving us mercy, and how he's trying to like change things. So is that also seeing Krishna, like, or is something like we have to see him personally only?
No, I mean these are his arrangements, which he did for you in your life. So that's also Krishna. It's in this verse. It was also I will share the verse again. So in this verse, it was mentioned that activities. So all of me, namely my actual eternal form, my transcendental existence, color, qualities, and activities, let us all be awakened within you. So here we also hear about his activities, and whatever he arranged in your life, they are his activities. So that's also experiencing him. And this very perfectly shows how it always depends on our consciousness, how much we can perceive him, because his activities are always there. So whatever happens to a devotee, those are all Krishna's arrangements. The question is if we can see them as Krishna's arrangements, or something independent from him, because we are free to understand as Krishna's arrangements. And if we see like that, then we see Krishna's activities in our life. But whenever we see that it's independent, then it is our consciousness, it is our decision that we don't want to see Krishna.
Okay, got it. Mm.
Yeah, so it's so nice that you brought this topic up, because with senses like vision and whatsoever, hearing, it's not so obvious that we lack the qualification, but with his activities it is so obvious that it is our decision whenever we don't see him.
Mm.
So I think it's such a nice point to this topic.
Thank you, Mati. And also you mentioned like factual realization means we can experience the Lord. So that's how the progress will happen, right? So we'll go to the stage. Like first we see the activities, we see Krishna's arrangements, then slowly we'll go progress to the personal, seeing the Lord.
Mm, in one sense, yes, but it's not just about his arrangements, but so many things happening parallel in our lives. So one thing is that we get purified, and we become, as we become purified, and our senses are purified, then obviously we will see everything in a different light. And also with real knowledge, we see the world around us as the world really is. But the thing that when Krishna wants to reveal himself personally to us is totally up to him. So as he mentioned, it happens out of his mercy. So it's not like we can accept that, okay, it will happen the day after tomorrow because now I reached total purification, because maybe even after that, Krishna is waiting. There were the gopis, and they are pure devotees without a doubt, and Krishna disappeared from them because he had some purpose with it. And to understand such purposes is yeah, it's not easy. But the main answer is that whenever Krishna wants to reveal himself, uh, he will do so. Sometimes it happens in a dream. So who knows? There were devotees who had dreams with either Krishna or Srila Prabhupada or deities. I mean, Krishna and deities are the same, but deities are certain forms. But that's also a possibility. So it's not just one way or another. There are so many different ways how Krishna can reveal himself. And it's just, we need to be open, and we need to have desire to connect to him. And most importantly, serve him in this serving attitude.
Yes, Mataji, very nice. Yeah. So as you also said, effort and continue to have a desire that will help us. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Yeah, class is so deep. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much for your question. So as I see, there are no more questions, and we can conclude the call. So Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.
Hare Krishna. Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Vanchakalpata rubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Mataji, can you stop live stream when you click more in the bottom?
Yes.